Elementary music teacher friend, you love what you do, but you might feel unappreciated and, in fact, unseen some days. You may even feel like you're on a music teacher island and just want to connect with other music teachers who can relate to both your struggles and wins when it comes to teaching elementary music. I get you and understand completely the feelings you're having. That's why each and every week, the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast will provide you with solo and guest episodes that will help you realize you're not alone in your music teaching journey. Throughout each episode, my goal is for you to be able to walk away with actionable steps and ideas to help you feel like you're ready to take on the new week with whatever challenges may be thrown your way. Hi, I'm your host, Jessica Peresta, and I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're at home, in your car, in the shower, or wherever else you're listening, grab your cup of coffee or whatever other beverage is nearby and listen in to the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast.
Hi, I'm Steve Miletto from the Teaching, Learning, Leading K-12 podcast, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Welcome to the very first bite-sized PD I'm doing for the summer. So I'm so excited to be here. And like I said, these are going to be mini bite-sized PDs. They're not going to be an hour of your time. I'm talking 10 minutes or less. In fact, this isn't a training. It is more of a present something that you may be struggling with, help you find solutions, thinking through your own situation, your own teaching life. You're an individual with unique, needs and skills and all the things. So, okay, so let's just jump right in. Today's topic is overwhelm. And I wrote down some thoughts. And as I'm talking, please in the comments, I want you to leave your thoughts. Okay. This is for you. I want you to leave in, if I'm saying anything that you're kind of like, okay, that's me, let me know. And because the whole goal of this, like I said, is to give you action steps, which is going to be at the end. I'm going to say, do this to help you move forward in this area. Doesn't mean it's all going to be like a perfect solution today and you're going to leave like, I have no more overwhelm ever. No, that's not it. But the goal is to give you strategies to work towards that, to work towards beating the overwhelm so you can continue moving forward. I told you I'm going to give you a solution, some resources, and action steps. So the solution for overwhelm. First of all, I want you to identify the main area that you're feeling overwhelmed in. And this is honestly going to change week by week or day by day. There's not one area in my life I am overwhelmed in. A lot of areas. I'm just going to be honest with you. And it does change. Sometimes it's in motherhood. Sometimes it's something going on in my business. Grad school causes a lot of overwhelm. There's overwhelm that happens in my marriage and friendships. It's my dogs overwhelm me. There's overwhelm in every area. But there's some things that'll cause more overwhelm in your life than others. And so it is identifying the main area right now that's causing overwhelm in your life. So I want you to think about that and leave it in the comments. What is causing you? Maybe you're thinking about the school year. Maybe you're already in summer right now. So think back to the school year or think back to what your season of life you're in right now as you're entering summer. Where are you feeling the most overwhelmed that you can, probably the first thing that pops in your mind is what it is. So I want you to identify the main area causing you to feel overwhelmed. Then you're going to focus on the other areas. Because like I said, it's not just one thing. Life is a lot of things that cause overwhelm in our life, right? So we're going to focus on one thing at a time. And so I said the main area, which will keep changing and pivoting week to week, day by day, hour to hour, to be honest. So pick one area, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to pick one area to focus on in your life, okay? Then I want you to only focus on one area at a time, because the way to be overwhelmed is to slowly work through what's causing you stress. I'm an overachiever. I have talked about this before. I'm a type A personality and I want all of my ducks in a row. I want everything solved and I want all of the things just like fixed right away. But what I notice is when I'm trying to fix all the areas all the time, and that causes stress. So that's what I'm saying is focus on one area right now. Then we're going to move to other areas, because if you're trying to problem solve in so many different areas of your life, and it's just going to feel like you're just constantly like paddling upstream, or is it downstream? Against the waves, I don't know. And you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying is we're going to choose one area, and you don't have to put it in the comments, but I want you to identify, write it on a piece of paper. This is where I'm going to focus on. And we're going to talk more about that. So hang on. Okay. Different areas, like I said, will cause stress and life will ebb and flow. So the main area is going to change. When you feel like you're truly focusing on one specific area at a time, you'll be able to identify when it's time to move on to the next area. So let's talk about some areas that might be causing you overwhelm. I'm going to name some examples here. Stress, okay? Stress will cause overwhelm, and stress comes from a lot of different areas. Stress and overwhelm go hand in hand. Burnout. Talk about being burnout as a teacher. You're very well aware that there's a huge teacher turnover right now. You're feeling it. You're feeling the overwhelm, even though you're entering summer. Some of you have a couple days to go, weeks to go. Some of you are already in summer, but you're feeling the overwhelm because you're feeling burnt out. That is a huge area that might be what you write on your paper is overwhelmed, or I'm sorry, burnt out. Maybe it is too much on your plate. Maybe you just have too much going on and it's causing overwhelm because you don't know which area to tackle first because there's too much. There's too much going on and it feels like it's just like overwhelming trying to tackle everything. So that might be your main area you're focusing on right now. Maybe it's lots of expectations put on you by your administration, by your colleagues, by your friends, by your family. So many expectations put on your time. It can feel overwhelming when you have so many different expectations you're trying to meet in every area, and somehow you in all of the mix of things get lost and it's overwhelming. Maybe you feel like you don't have time for your day-to-day stuff. This is something that can cause overwhelm when you feel like your laundry that's hanging over your head to do. Your house is getting dirtier and dirtier. You haven't had time to go to the grocery store. Well, that's what I mean by day-to-day stuff. It's hard to beat the overwhelm when that stuff is causing overwhelm, right? So the solution, those are some areas to identify. So the solution today is you're going to find a main area to focus on, and knowing that can shift, okay, week to week, but focus on today through next Monday. What area are you going to identify that's causing overwhelm? And that is where you're going to focus on this week. Okay, so resources to help you, and then we're going to get into action steps. So resources, there is a blog post I found that is really, really good. If you're watching on Facebook, I linked it in the description. Instagram, I'm going to tell you where to go. So, and if you're listening to the replay on the podcast, it'll be in the show notes. So if you had to teach smart with me, and then at the very top, you'll see a search bar. Just type in the word overwhelm. The very first blog post that comes up says 31 helpful tips for overwhelmed teachers. Make some changes in your life today. I read through that and I was like, it is so good. That blog post is so good. In fact, this is a newer website to me that I was like really impressed with. You might want to bookmark it because she has a lot of great resources and blog posts. So that is the first one. teachsmartwithme.com, put overwhelm. There's a search bar at the very top, and then you'll see that article come up. Then there's two podcasts that I've recorded previously. Episode 132 is how to keep moving forward when the overwhelm is so real. So that one is very helpful. And then these are just some you can listen to this summer, okay? And then episode 108 is how to start the school year off feeling a little bit less overwhelmed. So obviously that one may be one you want to listen to closer to the school time, and that's okay. But I'm just giving you two podcast episodes you can listen to while you're driving, while you're whatever, this summer, lounging by the pool, I don't know. So episode 132 and 108. Action steps. This is what I want you to do this week. Okay, I'm not giving you a ton of homework. I get it. It's summer. Okay. In fact, today we're going to the pool, my kids and I, even though the water will be freezing, and I try to tell them and they don't care, but it's okay. All right. So the action step is make a plan for how you'll beat that main area of overwhelm. Number one, take out a journal or a Google Doc. Okay. And I want you to make a list of where your stress has come from in May. Notice I didn't say focus on the entire school year. That will cause overwhelm just by doing that, right? May, you're going to look at 1 month, especially the last month of school. Now, the overwhelm came from the end of the year assemblies and talent shows and all the things, right? A field day and all this stuff. Yes, okay, that's overwhelm. But you as a person, what has caused overwhelm in your individual personal life in the month of May? Take out a journal, and I want you to make a list of where your stress came from. It could be a lot of things. And so after you make that list, I like to call it brain dump. What I mean by that is you just write what immediately comes to your mind without sitting and thinking about it for a long time. You're going to see a lot of words or phrases that come out just like instantly. Then I want you to circle the main area that you feel like is really just replaying over and over each day. It's like it just keeps coming to the surface, and you know this is something that's causing that overwhelm. I want you to circle that area on that paper, okay? Then what I want you to do, after you've circled the top area on your list, I want you to journal ways you'll be able to move forward and not feeling overwhelmed in that area. And I'm going to give you an example. So, for example, if it's a lot of expectations put on you, that was an example I gave earlier. If that is what's causing overwhelm, then maybe identify what those expectations are. What are the expectations being put on you? Who's putting them on you? And then how can you delegate some of those tasks on your plate? Now, while you're at school, maybe the expectations, everybody's expecting you to do so much. There's so much being expected of you. So one way I really delegated, I'm not good at, I'm just going to give an example. I'm not a good artist. I tell my own kids this all the time. They know that. I actually laugh at myself. So when I put on any performances at school or any talent show and I needed some cool decorations or a backdrop, or it wasn't even the art teacher. If you've heard my story, I didn't have an art teacher. My librarian loved to draw. She loved to create. She loved to make things. She would get bulletin board paper and make these backdrops that was like, what the heck? Looked like a professional did them. So I delegated that area. I said, you love doing this. I need some kind of like simple decorations to put up here. And she did. She did it for me. Now, if I had never had that conversation with her, I would have been overwhelmed in that area because I would have been like, I need something to hang up, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do. And I'm sure I could figure it out, but I don't have time. So that was just one example right there of expectations put on me. Was my principal said, I want you to have some kind of decoration put up for your end of the year performance. And I was like, wait, hold on. Hold on a minute. What? So I delegated that task off. What can you delegate? What can you, during the school year, but also in your personal life? What are some tasks you can maybe get some extra help in and ask others to help in certain areas, or be strict with your time? And what I mean by that is be okay saying no. I had a whole day the other day where I didn't answer a single text message. I was having a day where I felt overwhelmed. And to be honest, it was for what's been going on this week in our country. It was not even anything I was going to talk about today, but this has been on my heart. As an educator and as a mom of 3 school-age kids, I can't just sweep it under the rug and pretend this is not affecting me. I also had an overwhelming week where I found out that my son, who's in special education, it's changing next year as he goes into 7th grade. I'm not going to cry. But anyways, there was a lot that just kind of hit the fan this week, and I in my personal life, it was overwhelming. So I remember a day where I said, something has to give today, and I need to I don't know, I can't be there for people right now. I need to just kind of process my thoughts. So I had a whole day where I didn't answer text messages. Did my friends and family probably think something was wrong? Yeah, because I'm pretty good usually about responding. Maybe not the millisecond someone texts me, but I'll get back to you pretty soon. And I was okay with that. It was kind of freeing to just say, I can't message people back right now or text them back right now. And I have to put myself first. I need to be here for process some thoughts, and I need to be here as a mom. And that's okay to do. So maybe that is expectations put on you. You're constantly feeling like you need to keep up with texting people back or messaging people back or emailing people back or in person. If someone asks you to hang out and you're constantly feeling like you have to say yes, I want to say to you, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to put limits and boundaries on your own life. All right. So like I said, I was giving an example. If it's lots of expectations put on you, I said, identify what those expectations are. How can you delegate some of the tasks on your plate? Is there a communication issue between you and someone else? Maybe there's just a communication issue. You got to I don't know, talk about it and say are we not understanding each other here? And I also put, if there's any area you can say no in, which I mentioned earlier. Those are ways you can definitely beat the overwhelm with expectations put on you. So you have your resources given to you. We identified a solution to overwhelm and then action steps that I want you to work through to hopefully start working through this area in your life. I want to also invite you to free coaching week with me. That is June 26th through July 3rd. Come, it's going to be amazing. And I really, really want to see you there. We're going to dive into these topics that I'm going through each Monday even more. You're going to be surrounded with other music teachers you can pick their brains and ask questions to. So it's subscribepage.com/elementary music coaching week 2022. Yes, that's a long link. And so I've linked to that in the Facebook Live. Instagram, if you go to the link in my bio, you will see it at the very top. And also on the podcast replay, it will be in the show notes. I'm going to stick around for any questions, or if you guys have any comments about anything I discussed today, talk to me. Like, where are you feeling the overwhelm? And remember, we're not focusing on like a spider web, every single area, because that will cause overwhelm in itself. But where are you feeling the main area of overwhelm is for you right now? It could be week to week, day to day, month to month, but where are you feeling it the most? When I was talking about it, did you feel like something just kind of like, okay, came to top of mind? And if it did, that's the area. Focus on that first, then slowly work through that list we talked about a minute ago. That said, you guys have an amazing Memorial Day. Have a fun week. Enjoy your summer. Get some rest, and I will see you soon. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening into the Elementary Music Teacher podcast. There is an exclusive Facebook group just for listeners of this podcast and any elementary music teacher called the Elementary Music Teacher Community Facebook group. Come on over and join us there, where we have conversations around the podcast episodes and encourage each other each and every week. And also head to my website, thedomesticmusician.com. I have some free resources there that you can download to help you gain traction in your classroom today, as well as the blog and the membership site and all kinds of other goodies to help you keep going in your music teaching journey. I cannot wait to keep connecting with you and encouraging you and spurring you on in your journey of teaching elementary music. Hang in there, have an amazing week, and I will see you soon.